So where did you go to art school at then? Did you go to the University of Montana?
Yeah. So originally I wanted to go to IAIA, but when I got into high school, um, my mom didn't want me to go because yeah, it was a really complicated. Well, I was a high schooler for one, and high schoolers are just complicated. And I was trying to go live with my grandparents, but her and my dad, they were insisting that I finish school where I started. And part of the deal was they we compromised. And so in order to not have me get rebellious, they went to the principal and asked if the principal could skip me up a grade and then shorten my high school career. And I was okay with that. But what it meant was I had to advocate. I had to do advocating for myself, which was really hard because a high schooler, you're still kind of a kid, pretty
Yep.
much. You're still pretty much all a kid. And she didn't think that me going in front of the board was going to be successful, like in self-advocating, like because I was going to go in front of the board and tell them, okay, I'm going to go to IAIA. And she said, no, I think you need to pick something more like strict or more like academic. And so I didn't know what to do. um I was pretty much lost after she told me that. And so I said, okay, well, architecture, I don't know architecture. And so I told them that, and everything went through. Like they accepted me to get through high school a year shorter. And but then it didn't stop there, because then the counselor followed through with everything, and I ended up having to go to architecture school. So I started off in Bozeman. I only was there for a semester and I couldn't do it. I was too unhappy. It was too hard for me. It was too much of an adjustment. And um my mom, she's a alcohol and drug counselor. And so I switched majors to something like that. I switched into psychology, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I ended up, after moving a couple of times, I ended up in Missoula. And I just got a psychology degree because I didn't know I could make up my own mind after I got into college. Like I just was trying to be mindful of my parents and just be like a good listener. And
Right.
so um I did the psychology, but because I didn't know what I was doing, I didn't know what to do after I graduated, because I graduated from that. And then I was like, I don't know. So I ended up
This
working.
sounds exactly like me.
I worked for my tribe for a couple months, and they had me doing tribal preservation work. And then I was like, oh, okay. And by then I had gotten married. And so I went right back to school. I didn't stop going to school. I just worked for a couple months and went right back into school. And I went for Indian education and um, Native American studies. Like I combined them, and I got a master's degree. And then when I was done with that, I was like, oh, I think I know what I want to do. So it took me that long. I was like, oh, I want to get a public administration degree, then I can go back home and work wherever I want. And because administration is pretty much every tribal office. And so um just growing up, your older people, any older person will tell you to come back and help. And that was the only thing I could think. I was like, well, tribal administration or public administration. So I did that. And then I what happened after that? Oh, I picked up a Native American Studies, a bachelor's degree from going to school for so long. and then I
Wow.
I went home and worked for a little while. I worked at a couple places at the tribe, and I was like the last few years at Job Corps. I was there, and then I moved over to Salish Kootenai College. I was helping with the trio program for like a little bit, and then I got offered a teaching position in tribal governance. So I did that for like 3 years, and then um, my youngest daughter, she graduated from high school, and I decided I'm gonna go to art school. So I did that in 2017. And then here last year, my husband got a job here at Vancouver at the University of British Columbia. And so then we moved, and instead of working, we decided to see if I could just get myself going full
Right.
time.
Get your art going. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. It's really challenging, and it's a lot of, it's a lot of hard work, but I don't think I've ever been more fulfilled in all of the things that I tried to do. I didn't get to go to IAIA, but I got my degree last year, and it's a full-on bachelor's degree, and that was good enough for me. I mean, I was pretty happy about it. It was what I wanted in the beginning. So that's what
Isn't
I
it funny in
did.
life how we come full circle sometimes?
Yeah.
Well, it
Yeah.
sounds like you've gotten a lot of, I mean, amazing accomplishments and great education. Wow, Salisha. Amazing. Holy cow. Well, I noticed on your website too, do you have any of your artwork in any museums?
Oh yeah, I did one piece. I was trying to remember what it's called. I think I called it Indigenous Bitterroot. I started it when I was in school, and it's a picture of the land there where the university is at. It's a pretty famous picture for Montana. And I used that. You can use certain things once they've lost the copyright. And then based off of this other artist that I was inspired by, that I do kind of a couple things based off of inspiration from that one artist, but they do collage work. And I did that with that piece. But the thing I wanted to do with it is I wanted to integrate beadwork onto the actual photo. So I got it printed, and then I did my own design, and then I beaded it onto there, and then I made a collage out of it. And I had guidance by a professor there at the university. And then when it was done, I showed it last fall. Um, I had applied for a solo show at the university. There's a small gallery there, and the museum on the campus is called the Montana Museum of Arts and Culture, and they bought that piece, and
Oh,
they're
wow, that's great.
they're gonna integrate it into their new building. They're getting a new museum, and so that's a part of the permanent collection. And then that last year, I didn't know that they even had this, but they're one of my mentors. I didn't know that he did this, but he has a scholarship that he awards according to his own system. So you don't even apply for it, but he gave it to me
Oh,
the last year of school. But part of the thank you, the thank you portion was to donate a piece back. And so I finished that over the winter, this past winter, and it was a bag. It, the design is kind of contemporary, like my designs are kind of contemporary, but the aspect of the bag is not. It's a really traditional piece of regalia. And I was really hard to give it to them. I was like, here you go. But
Uh,
they have to vote. Those museums have to vote. So just this past week, they voted on it, and they accepted it into their collection. So I have 2 pieces in that museum, and hopefully more in the future. But for now, it's